Often when we're animating, we're going to need to animate separate objects or separate different parts of our drawings independently from the other. And we're going to need to have a whole series of animation layers working in conjunction to create the final illusion. Now, you've seen this little illustration before, this animation before. This is that moving bar that I was working with earlier. And it uses multiple animation layers just quite wonderfully to allow two different objects to be animated independently from each other to create what you see in front of us. And it's really easy to create these animation layers, and there's some big benefits to them, okay? So all of this is contained on a specific object itself. It's called even timing, and this is the example that I was using for the bars. Now down below in our outliners, of course, we have the grease pencil stroke object itself, and inside of it we have our animation layers. Well, how do we create these animation layers? This grease pencil stroke, that comes with the default grease pencil object, but inside it here, how do we create these animation layers? Well, let me show you how to do it real fast. It's actually very easy. If you grab this parent object and then head down into the object's data container over here, we're going to get the ability to add layers right here inside of our interface. Now, I've already added one. If we wanted to add a third one, maybe I want to have a cool little box or something behind it. Let's just do it real fast. We're going to hit this little plus icon right there. Boop, and we're going to add a new grease pencil layer. So this is its own independent layer. We can add new strokes on it. We can add any sort of image in here, any sort of drawing that we want to make. If you look down here in our timeline, we also have the ability to keyframe just the contents of this layer independently from the rest. It's pretty neat. Let me just select the layer here real fast. I'm going to go into my draw mode. And I think I'm just going to add a nice little box just to kind of frame it up a little bit. Something like that. Okay, I'm being picky. Sorry, I'm being picky. Let's do this. Let's change the vertex color, and I want to pick a nice light gray. There we go. That's a little bit better. Kind of frame it up. I'm happy with that. I hit the return key, and I'm on my way. So now, with this animation layer, I could animate this independently if I wanted to. I could spin it. I could do whatever I want to it. But one of the other benefits of having these independent layers is that I can hide them, okay, which is pretty cool. So I could turn off these two or just work on one, for example. I can select this layer. Let's give it a good name. I forgot to name it. Let's double click on it. We're going to call this box. There we go. Now, over here in my layers palette, this is kind of neat. I can lock it. That way I can't accidentally select it. If I go into edit mode, see how I can't select it? That's kind of nice. In addition, I can also turn on the onion skinning or off the onion skinning on just that one layer, which is pretty cool. Let's turn the visibility icon back on. Can unlock it as well. So it's really great to be able to go in and add these extra layers in there. We don't necessarily have to animate them, but it's nice to be able to separate these things out just in case we wanted to just organize our scene and organize our timeline differently from all the other parts and pieces inside of our scene itself. It's a great way of working. I often have environmental objects, things that describe the background, on their own animation layer. That way I can animate them independently and just organize them a little bit better, right? I can go in, just in one click, turn off the entirety of that layer, work on the foreground objects that I know I'm going to need to animate, and then when I'm ready to render it out, I can turn everything back on, and voila, I'm up and running. So these animation layers are a great way of organizing your scene, controlling your scene, and animating the elements in your scene independently from each other.